what I've decided to do on the A-pillar, I still have this patch as a work in progress. I got held up because my body saw broke, so I had to order a new one. So that will be get taken care of, and this needs a repatch. It's got some rust up in this area, also have to be patched. So it looks like this whole front face may be renewed. On the other side, it is in good shape. So what I think I'm gonna doing is I'm going to start with a cut across. This is like it's a patch that's been attached to the top piece. So I'm going to cut it off, and we'll find out why it's there, I assume, once it gets cut off. So I'll cut it off about here. It's just above where it's supposed to end. I'm going to try to unspot. I'm a little bit of guesswork, but there's some spot welds that I'm going to try to undo to try to actually remove the A-pillar from behind. Hopefully that's successful. And then I will make up a line, try to keep it straight, just so it's easier to patch, but it's going to end up however it's going to end up, I guess. Looks like I need a new paint marker, but anyway. And I may curve it out so it matches the contour somewhat. But just for ease of removal, I'm going to cut it down here. And then I can work on trying to remove the rest here. I may end up redoing some of the face of this on the inside of the A-pillar, just to make this patch look a little bit better. It looks like this patch has been lap welded. So once I get that all removed, we'll catch up on what's next. Okay, here we are. This piece shouldn't be too hard to make. Maybe minus a few details that don't matter, you won't see. We will have to make sure that we replace this inner structure here, reinforcements for the door hinge. So that's it. We'll work on getting the rest of it off. Hopefully you can get the rest of it out. I will have to make a cut up here strategically somewhere. Hopefully afterwards we can sort of piece it all together, and then I can make it in one piece if possible, to slide back up into place and spot everything back where it needs to go, and then we can call A-pillar cowl side complete. So, drilling spot welds. Let's get to it. Okay, this is great. We got this off. This shows us what we need to know. You can see, you know, the general rustiness is exposed, so we can take care of that. That's perfect. Also, up the top here, you can see on the face there's an additional patch. Up here there's a patch, and just like the others, I suspect you can barely see through the open hole that there is a rust hole down here for sure. Can't verify way up here, but probably is as well. But it definitely looks like a lap weld. So like the the repair is going to continue on up into here. There is also, and I think this takes care of most of this area, we are going to replace the drip rail. So part of that drip rail replacement is going to have to happen now, because we will have to repair what's underneath the drip rail first. So so that this all exposes that. It also exposes the top of this section here. This is a separate piece, right? comes up, it's also, so this is all one from here down. That includes the whole A-pillar. You can see that it's pretty much rotted out. There's nothing really holding it up past this spot weld, pinch weld area. So I'm thinking of going a little bit further and detaching what is attached. You can kind of see the layers in here. So the first 3 spot welds, take them off, and however many spot welds are down here, to pull this off, repair the top, and then set it aside. And when we make the A-pillar piece, we can attach it all together and line it all up before it all gets welded back in. Hopefully that plan works. In the meantime, this up here looks great. We can finish off this top patch now that this is all exposed, and get it all welded back up into place and spot welded back. Make the piece, this piece, we'll make a replacement, basically looking the same. Get that ready afterwards to put back into place. There's the pile of rubbish. We'll keep all of that for now. Okay, so this is what I've done. Clearly wasn't thinking and cut off the A-pillar before taking any measurements. I do have the measurements kicking around somewhere, and I'll find them. However, keeping all the pieces is always a smart idea for this reason alone. Is it going to be 100% perfect? Probably not. There is a lot of forgiveness in these door mounts, which is what's really going to matter, is how the door gets positioned. So I think this is going to be a close enough measurement. When I do find those measurements, I will double check it, and hopefully I'm in the ballpark. So with my trusty piece of paper, let's make a template. Let's get some magnets. Oh! To get some weight off this paper. Let's cut it off around here. Somewhere in here is my pencil. It's getting shorter by the minute. That's approximately where I want to fold, and I'll trace the other side with a straight edge so it gives it about an inch of a flange, which is more than I need, but trim off all of the extra, put a couple bends in the paper, and then we can test fit it again. Alright, this is what I've come up with. Let's go with this. Line it up on some sheet metal and we'll cut it out. What we got here is a sheet with the template traced out, ready to cut on the shear. Quickly just cut out this. I don't know that I properly measured out this notch, but I put a little notch on the corner. So we'll just quickly cut it out. It would have cool if you have an actual corner notch here. That'd be great, because look at that, it's not, I didn't do it straight. Hopefully it doesn't matter. Straighten out the edges while I'm fresh on my mind. Let's continue on. Round corner nicely with this throatless shear. I'm gonna do a little jagged. That's operator error. Shouldn't have been like that. Now, I couldn't help but notice how squiggly this is. And I don't think it should be. Oh. That was okay. This is the. I'm gonna butt weld this side in. That's why it's all squiggly. So we'll just go with it. Try not to get those. Oh, I'm doing it again. Alright. That is it. That is cut. Okay. This is the tipping dies on the skateboard wheel. We got to bend two bends, both to 90. We'll
Start off by using the skateboard wheel. All right. I got some 3/4 inch masking tape just to mark a line on where to trim this flange down, where it doesn't need to be that long. Okay, that's better. Okay, right off the bat, I made this notch on the bottom of here, and now I realize exactly why. It fits perfectly with that notch there, but the rest of it doesn't, because what I didn't write down on the template was that I have to put a slit up here, approximately the same distance, and actually maybe not quite as high, but it requires a flange as well to spot weld onto the top of the rocker panel nose. So that's why that's there. And let's put that there. I made a mark. It's about an eighth, just a little more than an eighth maybe, below the notch. Okay. Now let's try to fit it. Okay, it fits on. It's a little tight, which is okay. This actually, I gotta put the slit a little bit higher because this actually starts to transition outward. You probably can't tell, I guess. So this is the old one, and hopefully you can see, but it starts to kick out, and you have to try to duplicate that on the new piece. So I think to start, we will fits a little closer, that I can put a good pencil line on where it appears to start. That's where it looks like it starts to kick out.
So we'll make this cut up to the line, just with a hammer and dolly over top of the railway track to get that bend.
That's looking pretty darn close. We'll leave it like that and we'll test it again. All right. Let's check this out. Again. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, I really like this. This, exactly like I wanted. That's, is a momentous occasion. This doesn't usually happen. So, okay, got some paper. Make a trace out a cap, and also this half is going to be butt welded onto the existing or the original piece flange. But this portion that was spot welded onto the upper cowl, windshield pillar piece, was rusted out and missing, and I completely forgot about it. So we're going to trace the cap, and it's going to bend to a 90 up to this line here. Something like this. Hopefully that's straight. Okay. A few pieces. Nope. Yes. Let's cut this out. Something like that. Let's bend it up and give it a test fit. Give it a bend. Now the flange. One day we'll get a sheet metal brake. But until then, the hard way it is. That is looking good. Okay, let's test fit it again. I went ahead and welded it without you, but saved the best part for you. I'm gonna grind it up and we'll test fit it. You're welcome. Okay, I welded it up, ground it down with a stone grinder, then I took the 80 on the angle grinder and then finished it off with the Scotch-Brite roll-lock just to scuff it all up. I will put some primer on it right now. I'll spray some weld through on the flanges where it's going to spot on the sides and the bottom. The rest I'll just use some etching primer, and maybe it's not going to get welded on yet, but before it does I'll spray some Rust-Oleum or something to further protect it from future rust. All right, paste dry, test fitted in. First problem, the A-pillar after the first mount, you know, somewhere around this area, it starts to taper in. And I had it all taped together. I should have looked at it better, closer, or maybe even re-tack these pieces in before making the template. Anyway, it's all fine except for the taper. It's gonna matter a little bit. I'm not sure if the door adjustment could have adapted. Anyway, so all we did is I marked where, if you look down the side, you can see where the taper starts. So I put a cut, and now this can go where it needs to. Then I'll just put a mark on the inside and cut this off, and we'll have to weld that back up. Everything will be hunky-dory. Next problem. On the section of the original piece that we're going to butt weld, just had to cut it in. The flange we made on the top for the top was a little too shallow, so we had to bend it back and well, here, let me detach you so you can see this part here. The flange was a 3/4 inch flange, and I had to flatten it back out and tip it out. Now it's about 1/4 inch, which is, you know, not a problem. It's enough to put some weld on there. And then these, I put a little cut in there. This is a butt splice area, or butt weld area. This has yet to be scribed in, but you know, baby steps. I think we'll get this welded up first, and then worry about cutting this, trimming this down to exactly where it needs to be. So, there we go. Now, if all goes well, this will line up perfectly, tack it into place. Let's fit it just to be double extra sure. Okay. Here we are, cleat-coat in place. Haven't, of course, made the holes yet, but we will get to that. I'm gonna look around for those dimensions to make sure I get them in the right spot. I have the old ones still, so I can get them pretty darn close, but I'll just hold off just for a bit. I still have to butt weld this, of course, and then finish the repair on the windshield pillar bottom. Redo this patch here. This patch here needs to be redone as well. And that is another piece of the puzzle done. If you're loving this Mustang build, hit subscribe so you won't miss the next step. We got lots more fabrication to go, so stay tuned and I'll catch you on the next one.